How's it going? Adam Drake here again, and today I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the hop-ups and option parts that I use on my MBX8R Nitro buggy. We'll start with the J-Concepts S15 body. That's painted by Darkside Designs and stickers from Stick It One Racing. So with a lot of these parts that I run on my car, they're not necessarily things that you have to have, but just wanted to kind of share with you guys, give you a little bit of a closer look. I've done other under the hood videos, but want to talk a little bit more in detail about some of these hop-ups and why I choose them. So also from J-Concepts, I have the F2I wing. And with this wing, it comes with a wicker bill. And I normally cut that wicker bill off. It gives the car a little bit more corner speed. It jumps a little bit better, especially in windy conditions. And that is also a reason why I choose this wing, is because in windy conditions, this is the wing that I found to be the best, jumping, kind of cutting through the air without the car kind of getting upset. Now, the new stock Mugen wing also works very well, and it depends on the track conditions. So, for example, recently we had JBRL round 1 at the Dirt, which is a really big high-speed track. At that race, I used the stock Mugen MBX8R wing. That wing's a little bit more stable, has a little bit more grip on kind of higher speed or faster tracks. And then the next round of the JBRL series was at Thunder Alley, and the track was a little bit more technical, a little more kind of flowing, and a lot of like jumps while turning. And I went back to the J-Concepts F2I wing. I have that secured with the Flashpoint one-piece aluminum wing mount. The stock aluminum wing buttons work really nice, but I prefer the one-piece kind of bridged mount, just because it helps support the wing and also the wing mount. It also looks really nice. So yeah, not really a big like improvement in terms of handling, but it's just kind of a nice feature. Down here, I have the Mugen 20-gram weight, and I do that just to give the rear end a little bit more stability, just kind of calms the rear end down on the exit of the turn. Also lands a little bit better. One thing though, with weight, sometimes if you run too much weight in the back of the car, it can actually, once the car does break loose, or if it breaks loose, too much weight in the back will make the rear end want to swing even more. So I like a little bit of weight, but not too much. I also have the Mugen one-piece engine mount. Again, not a huge performance advantage, but it looks really nice. It helps support kind of both engine mounting tabs, just because everything's tied in as one piece. I also have the optional Mugen 2.4 rear sway bar and 2.1 front sway bar. And that can vary depending on the track, but normally I like to run thinner sway bars. I feel that especially when the track gets rough, the thinner sway bars allows the suspension to kind of work more independently and absorb the bumps better than when running a really thick sway bar. Next will be the Flashpoint titanium turnbuckles. These are made by Lungsford Racing. I also have on one of my other cars the J-Concepts black titanium turnbuckles. Both work really good, just save a little bit of weight. And then I also like that it has the hex feature. It just makes it easier to adjust than the stock steel turnbuckles. I'm not sure if you can see down here the droop screws. I have titanium droop screws from Avid. And the main reason for these is because on the bottom side where the screw touches the chassis, it's like a ball basically. There's no hex cut into it. So when this extends and hits into the chassis, it doesn't kind of eat into the chassis as much as the stock droop screws. So it's not a big change in terms of like consistency with the droop screws. Like the stock droop screws hold their position good, but over time they can eat into the chassis. So you have the chassis wearing from the bottom side from hitting the faces of jumps and stuff like that. And then you have it wearing from the top side. These make it a little bit more consistent, and also saves a little bit of weight. Also from Avid, I have the titanium shock pins. I have those for all 4 shocks. Again, not a huge performance change. They just look nice. They're a little bit easier to remove because the head sticks out a little bit farther and also saves a little bit of weight. I have the Flashpoint pre-oiled air filters. I have a little wire mount here just to help hold the air filter in place. That way it can't bounce up and down and hit the linkage. Flashpoint receiver pack, Flashpoint aluminum servo horn, ProTech 170 SBL steering servo, 170 TBL throttle servo. The receiver is the Futaba 404 SBS. You can also use the 324 SBS. And then I have some titanium screws, kind of have a mix of titanium screws, some from Lunsford, some from ProTech. There's really no comparison when it comes to titanium products. Lunsford makes the best stuff out there. But from time to time, if I'm placing an order from A-Main, I also get and use their screws. They also seem to work pretty good. I have the J-Concepts reflex tire, J-Concepts wheel, and then those are held onto the car with the Flashpoint magnetic wheel nuts. I have universal drive shafts in all 4 corners. So the kit comes with CVAs, which work really good. The CVAs actually provide maybe a little bit more grip, but they also require a bit more maintenance because with the CVA, especially out at the hub or the uprights, there's a lot of friction, and with the pin swiping, you have to re-grease and kind of maintenance those a little bit more. With the universals, are really good, especially on bumpy tracks. They seem to stay a lot more consistent from the time that they're new until you have a lot of fuel on them or a lot of fuel run through the car. So I run the universals in all 4 corners. Center, I just have the stock dog bones. In all 3 of my diffs, I have the Flashpoint cross pins. With the new MBX8R, we did do some changes to the sun gears inside the diff. So now with the diffs, you'll want to use just all the stock shimming, and the diffs are super smooth. When I do shim the diff, so in the gearbox, I do use the optional shims from Mugen that you would put on the ring gear or the diff cup before installing the 8x16 bearings. So that way when you pull the diff in and out, you don't have those big shims that sometimes get bent. So I think they're an 8x12 by 0.2 shim. Those make it really, really nice for taking the diffs in and out. Another option part that I have is these aluminum front arm supports. There's a few different companies that make these. I believe these ones are from Avid. And what they do is they just help support the 2 inner ears of the arm. So if there's any impact from the front, that inner ear can't flex as much. So it just makes it a little bit more durable. It also helps with the durability of the pills, because if that arm can flex, it will kind of basically pinch that inner ear and it'll pull that pin and sometimes have it poke through the back pill. So those are just a really nice option part. Other than that, it's pretty much stock, other than some Flashpoint blue washers, like I said, some titanium screws. I run just the stock rear hubs. Right now I'm currently running the 3-dot rear plates, which come stock in the kit. The 1-dot plates would make the hub like the old stock hub, but in most conditions I run the 3-dot now. Everything as far as the brakes, linkage, all that is pretty much stock. Oh, here's one other option part that I have. This is from Mugen. It's a pipe mount that we have for our on-road cars, and it just helps secure the pipe so it can't slip off the pipe wire. All the bearings in the car are the Mugen NMB bearings, which are super free. Just help make the drivetrain really free and efficient. And other than that, with the MBX8R, you don't need too many option parts. It already comes with the emulsion caps. It comes with a lot of the stuff that you need to go racing with and have a lot of success.